This is me at 19 on a mountaintop during a freak lightning storm. This is Tessa, who was crazy enough to jump at the invitation to hike for 3 weeks straight. Let me just give you a little bit more context. Let's rewind a couple years. So back in 2020, I posted a video about hiking the John Muir Trail, a 211-mile trail that runs through California's Sierra Nevada mountains. You start in Yosemite, hike through some of the most iconic wilderness in the country, and end at the highest peak in the lower 48 states, Mount Whitney. And I don't think I did a great job at portraying my real experience. Now, don't get me wrong. The trail was beautiful, beyond anything I'd ever seen and might ever see. But it was also so hard.
And a 12-mile, 3,200-foot day. Honestly, I probably would never recommend this.
So let's run it back, and this time, let me try to show you the full picture. Alright, so the JMT. It's remote, it's wild, and it's absolutely no freaking joke.
I saw lightning.
Elevation climbs, weather swings, no cell service, and everything you need, you have to carry it on your back. Our first obstacle was the permit situation. For anyone in the know, the JMT holds a lottery for permits every season. It's competitive, and we weren't one of the lucky ones. So we went with Plan B. We'd start at a different trailhead at the southern tip of the trail called Cottonwood Pass and travel in the opposite direction. The only problem with this strategy, instead of starting at a mere 4,000 feet of altitude, our first day would be at 10,000 feet. We were relatively unfazed by this plan. So we pushed forward with our planning. We dehydrated meals, counted ounces, read blog posts like they were sacred texts, and I even remember checking my pack weight and lying to myself about how it would feel lighter once I got going and got my trail legs. So we were as ready as any two 19-year-old girls would be to backpack 211 miles of remote backcountry.
This is gonna look terrible.
Now, all we had to do was walk.
We're at the trailhead. This is Tessa.
This is the
Oscar.
cool one.
Lucas.
Semi-cool one.
Okay, pause. These two would only be joining us for the first 5 days on the trail. The rest of it would just be me and Tessa.
Nah, he's got a good jawline.
How you doing, Dad?
Okay. So, a bit nervous. Looks like a beautiful start point. I just talked to the ranger. He said, trail's good. People are enjoying it out there. Season's off to a good start. So, full speed ahead. Gonna miss you. Officially at the Cottonwood Trail Pass trailhead. There they go. Bye, guys.
You won't come back, so see you farewell.
They're off to see the wizard.
And just like that, the trail started. We were off on our way to Inyo National Park.
This will probably be my trail name as well. I really like my trout. We're like 2 miles in, and we're about to start our first pass. How do you feel?
Not great, Chief. Not great. First pass, I'm a little nervous because the only one that doesn't have trekking.
Unfortunately, we knew that we would be a little bit underprepared for the first trek.
Today is Spam, and they look really good. Oh my god. Actually, you know what's gonna taste good once you wrap it in the tort and just don't look at it. Like, it'll taste good, I promise. It's like a Crunchwrap Supreme.
With no crunch.
Tastes like Spam? Okay.
Spam and tortilla.
Lit. Okay. We're almost at the top of Cottonwood Pass. I think we've done the biggest switchbacks. And this is the highest I've ever been, and this is the highest I think all of, maybe not Tessa, but me, Lucas, and Oscar have been. It's 10,646 feet. And I think Cottonwood Pass is at 11,000 feet.
I think the best way to explain the first day was we were just a little bit delusional in the best way possible.
We made it! There's Tessa and Oscar climbing up.
Making it up our first pass was a huge accomplishment. We're all really proud. And when we found our first stream, we sat for a while, filled up in silence, and everything was perfect.
We're taking a stop, a water break. It's like 5 o'clock, so we're getting tired. This is Oscar, and he's always tired, no matter what.
I'm aged 30.
This is our campsite for the first night. We decided no flies. It's very pretty. Tessa and I just got done eating, like a pad thai. It was very nice. Oscar's over here, dying, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so now we're about to clean all of our dishes for our first time. We'll see how it goes. And we all slept like shit. But it's fine. It's kind of fine. I cannot breathe. I think the altitude got to us and we all had headaches at some point. And then our water filters broke down. 2 of our 3. So yeah, and we have almost 12 miles to do today, so.
Sleep is one of those things you take for granted until you're at your wit's end and you've only slept for an hour in 48. It's not great for physical ability, and it definitely didn't help us hike the following day.
Now we're waiting for Tessa and Oscar, who are coming down that hill over there. And, even though this morning kind of sucked, the hike has been super duper easy. It's been super flat and downhill the entire time. We haven't gone up anything.
At this point, I was just trying to hide the fact that my bag was too heavy for me.
And then we're gonna go up Guyot Pass, which will suck, but it's okay because the first part of this day was actually really nice. We just made it to the Rock Creek Ranger Station Junction, and we're also waiting for Tessa and Oscar, who stayed behind for a little bit. So I think we're just gonna chill, eat lunch here. There's an actual river down there, which is the first like legitimate river we've seen on the whole trip. The last few miles are kind of frustrating only because my water pump stopped working. I talked about it this morning, but I thought I'd be able to fix it. I don't know how to fix it, so super unfortunate.
This was the first of several instances where I started to really feel 19 and like I was out in the middle of nowhere with no help.
Packs in instructions or a new pump or something, so yeah, that's where we're at right now. All right, I'll probably put my camera away for almost the rest of the day until camp.
The struggles with our water filter weren't dire, but they did slow us down significantly. And in addition to that, Tessa started talking about her struggles drinking water once we did have it filtered. And this was worrisome.
We just, oh, this is nice. We just climbed to the top of Guyot Pass. It's hard to tell, but this is the very tippy top of the pass. There's not too much of a view. Yeah, Tessa and Oscar it's gonna be a while for sure. And we still have 3.3 miles to Crabtree Meadows, but it's looking like it's all downhill from here, boy. We stayed for a really long time. We haven't been here for that long. We took so much time going up the pass. Yeah, it looks like you guys are trekking now. A little bit. I stopped drinking water and I feel better. Holy shit. You started drinking water? I started not drinking water. Oh, okay. There's quite a few mosquitoes here.
But it's really pretty, and we saw 4 bucks just grazing out in the meadow.
Making mac and cheese.
Making ramen.
Yeah, Lucas and I have our head nets on because there's quite a few mosquitoes.
And they didn't want to spray their faces with DEET.
We're not on Tessa's
my
level. And yeah, tomorrow we actually start the JMT. So finally, after a long wait.
That would be the last of the positive vibes for quite a while. From here on out, we had to come to terms with the reality of our situation, and it wasn't looking good.
Let's see. Okay. So, big bummer, honestly. A lot of our party has like either altitude sickness or just like can't do it. Yeah, we're at 11,000 probably 200 feet of elevation, which is no joke. Like, that's high. Lucas started getting altitude sickness just like barely on the last mile going uphill, but it was like pretty bad. Like, we had to stop probably every 100 feet. It's not looking good. We've been in contact with our families and stuff on the spot. We basically arranged to leave not tomorrow night but the night after, so we will be doing Forester. I will fucking climb that mountain. People can't control altitude sickness. You can't control nausea. You can't control a stomach bug.
That was the one thing we didn't bring medicine for as well.
I know. I can't believe we didn't bring nausea medication.
At this point, I was feeling extremely stupid, very young, and like I had bit off far more than I could chew. So why even bother? Why do something so incredibly difficult? I could say it was for views or the challenge or maybe just personal growth, but honestly, at 19, my only thought was, how am I going to prove myself? Walking 200 miles seemed like a great way to do it.
Oh, today was a fucking trap.
It was a big rough.
You could have put this in the bubonic plague and no one could tell the difference.
Started with altitude sickness, ended with altitude
It
sickness.
was a PSA on over exuberance. I know she's been dying for a few days.
I know, Tessa's been struggling, and then Lucas suddenly got altitude sickness. Well, my eyes are so swollen.
It was the next morning when we'd realized that the only way out of the mountains was actually through. It would be more time and energy to backtrack and try and find our way to the parking lot than it would be to trek through to Kearsarge Pass.
Lucas and I are partway up Forester, almost halfway actually. So I think we're about to start traversing, like switchbacks up Forester, so we gotta, you ready?
I decided that Forester was going to be my proudest moment. Even though we were only on the JMT for 5 days and I was being forced off, I knew that there was something I had to tell people when I got home, something to still be proud of.
We're at camp and we did Forester this morning and it was actually really great, besides Lucas and Tessa getting altitude sickness, but they were troopers. We made it to the top and we got to hang out at the top for a while before we had to descend.
Oh, and to update, I have now gotten 6 mosquito bites on my face.
Oh my god, I can only see the forehead ones.
And
but
my face is quite sunburned. So it's a really cute look overall.
But here's the thing, we were 19 and really, really stubborn.
So we got picked up at Kearsarge Pass and Onion Valley, and we're going home for 1 day, just tomorrow. But we're gonna go in with my dad at Bishop Pass.
Our quick exit ended up just fueling the flames, so we picked up our in and out and made plans to get right back on trail.
This is part 2 to the trail.
Part 2, round 2.
My dad is joining us. We have new people out. Say hi, Dad.
Oh,
You're finally in the vlog.
I'm finally in the what?
In the vlog. You were in it at the very beginning, but now you're actually hiking
I'm back.
with us. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I'm bigger, badder than before. I'm ready to eat some bear meat.
Yeah, so on my 1 day off, I got bit by Lucas's dog, which is super unfortunate. So my hand is like a claw.
We're calling her the Claw.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, boys. You know what? No, Lucas is doing great. Oscar, you did
Okay.
great. I think we need some more positive thinking on the trail.
I think we're people.
Hopefully I'm acclimated now.
Hopefully. That was a zoom to just a dark silhouette.
And just like that, we were thrown back into the madness of the trail. We patched our egos, rewrapped our blisters, and made a plan. This time we were going to be a little bit wiser, saltier, and more respectful of the elevation. This time, no altitude sickness.
Hello.
Hello.
We're on technically day 6.
Oh, that's weird to say. Or anything.
Yeah.
We found out today that we're more than acclimated. We're like
acclimated, we're used to our packs.
we're
used to
balling
the
out there.
system.
Like we were trekking along. We literally didn't even realize we had gone like 10 miles.
Maybe it was the lighter packs, maybe it was the knowledge of what not to do, or maybe it was just the absence of pressure. But from that point on, things started working a little bit better. We hiked further, ate more, and slept a little deeper.
Just made it right below Star Camp. We're having lunch, and then we're gonna finish Muir Pass this afternoon.
This is lunch.
Lunch for
If
today.
you can't tell, it is yet another tortilla. Yet another tortilla with peanut butter and trail mix. We're about to go 4 miles straight uphill to summit Muir.
And it's 2 o'clock.
Trying to mentally prepare. 4 miles straight uphill.
Fuck yeah.
Muir would be our reintroduction back on trail since Forester. And was it an introduction? It was also a great lesson to always respect the trail, regardless of how good you're feeling and how much better you think you are at hiking. We found this to be one of the most brutal 4-mile uphill sections on the entire trip. Even to this day, I look back and wonder why it was so difficult.
We're 1 mile from the top of Muir Pass. Probably would never recommend this. If I were not me right now, I'd split Muir Pass into 2 days because it's a long climb. Oh my god. This is like the longest pass ever. Yes! Oh my god. Oh, it looks so nice. This is hard.
If you couldn't tell, the struggle was definitely persistent. But moving down the mountain, we started to feel really good.
You can feeling vibey right now. Feeling like hiker trash, but in a good way. So
Muir Pass would become the cornerstone to our backpacking routine. Anyone who has been backpacking before knows that that consistency is what really makes your trip.
Mac and cheese. Like, look at this shit. This is gonna make a lot.
that's so
I'm
nice
so
though. You're such a cutie pie.
And we have our trail names. They've been discovered.
This is Zookeeper.
This right here is Grammarly.
Hi, I cannot do words.
And so we had our trail names. It felt like such a milestone to finally feel that we deserved trail names. We were hiker trash, full on. If there's anything I learned from this portion of the trail, it's definitely that you can be pretty scrappy and a little bit feral and still make things work.
Today the wind is too strong to cook outside. This
Bag of
is
milk.
a bag of granola, strawberries, and milk. It's a backpacker's breakfast. This food is for today.
We are out of everything except for
Shaw blocks.
bars, shop blocks, and peanut butter.
So we're headed towards a resupply tomorrow.
The resupply was a milestone and something that our hiker hunger was getting really excited about. It turns out when you strip down your life to the bare necessities, you focus heavily on the few things that you need to survive, that being sleep, food, and getting to where you want to go. In this case, we were pretty focused on the food.
Oh, the meow! It's
I want to cry at the moment because
we have meow in our resupply. Woo! Decided that it would be cool
if we could get our resupply today. However,
instead of tomorrow.
our resupply also happened to be 18 and a half miles away. And so we have done a 19-mile day.
It's actually insane how much a little bit of hunger can motivate you to walk a little bit further. Now our egos weren't just patched, they were inflated.
And then we only have a 7-mile day, which is less than half of what we did yesterday.
We do have a pass, but we're expecting it to be our first easy pass. So we're kind of excited. It's probably gonna be like Kearsarge, so we have a bit of time to waste, and we're having coffee.
And this is where we started to lose our sanity. This is what I like to call nature-induced psychosis. I think our environment played a pretty large part of this psychosis, so to speak. We got a little bit more immersed onto the trail. In fact, we were more happy than we were sad. We were excited to be hiking in the rain because it cooled us off, and when it was sunny, we were excited because we could hop in a lake. There was all sorts of reasons to be grateful for whatever was happening in that exact moment. And when we got to Marie Lakes, all we had to do was be thankful for how beautiful the sunset was.
Here we are. Hello. And we're going to try and catch the 4 o'clock ferry to VVR.
VVR was one of those myths that you kept hearing about on trail. People would pass you by and say, "We just got back from VVR and had the best time of our lives," with no contact. So we were on a mission.
Importantly, we will be receiving a burger today, or something of that sort.
When we arrived at the ferry landing, there was a lot of hikers. I mean, 10, 15, 20, all during COVID times, waiting for a coveted ferry to get to the resort. Rumor had it that the resort had a tri-tip night, and we were just in time to see it. Mushroom City was just a couple feet ahead. People's tents popped up like mushrooms everywhere, including our own, and we were ready for a feast.
Very happy. We finished, or we're close. I'm getting there. I'm gonna finish my tri-tip, so no worries, guys.
We proudly added our names to the winter log pile, making sure that it was eternalized, at least for that season.
I asked Tessa how I looked, and she said, yes.
The most important part about VVR was that every night they'd have a bonfire, where all the hikers gathered around a fire and, yes, sang campfire songs. It was real, and we were going to be a part of it.
Kumbaya, my lord.
We're going north, not south.
Version. And y'all are gonna impart your own no-bow lyrics. How does that sound? Well, I was heading north on the JMT. Man, where's a tree? I really gotta take a pee. There's no decency out here on the JMT. But I got into Vermilion. I even got a beer. This guy named Jim, he's kind of a hero.
We're leaving MTR.
This is an MTR.
Oh wait, this is Vermilion Valley.
The very happy day.
We've met lots of people.
Lots of no-bow.
We're getting ready to skedaddle.
After a long zero, we were finally off, back onto the trail. And this time, we realized we were getting really good at this whole camping thing. We set up our tent quickly, knew exactly where to go and how to wash all of our dishes. Everything had a place, and we knew where it was.
I have hot cocoa.
I have apple cider.
Cheers. Cheers.
And this is definitely where we went a little crazy.
I swallowed a bug, and then about 5 minutes after that got a bloody nose. County, which is even worse.
There's blood on her face, and she turns around, and there's people behind us, and she goes, "We can't let them catch us."
Morning. Good morning.
The plan today.
Silver Pass, but only 7 miles to Squaw Lake.
Short day. Early morning.
Yes. That's it.
Goodbye.
This has kind of become more normal. Really daunting to think about all the days that we'd have to spend out here, but now we've been out here for 2 weeks, pretty much. We feel very immersed in the wild.
We had become part of the trail's ecosystem. Backpacking is often thought to be lonely, but out here it's quite the opposite. You're immersed in this little dust-covered community full of trail names, broken gear, and the most gorgeous nature you've ever seen. And we were living every second of it.
And it was not, but it does look like there's some rain over there.
That consistency had finally caught up with us. We knew exactly what our routine looked like. Every day we'd wake up, know how many miles we were going to hike, have a rough idea of where we might camp, and talk to as many hikers as we possibly could on the way there. Rain and lightning became one of our daily routines.
This is Squaw Lake. Look, we only did like 7 or 8 miles today. And tomorrow we have a lot of miles, but no pass. Yeah. They'll be kind of up and down, a little buggy, but nothing like we haven't seen before.
Yep.
And
should be pretty easy from here on out.
We're a bit bummed we have to leave BVR, but Reds is soon, so.
Milkshake.
It seems like we only really ever thought about the places where we stopped walking, like Red's Meadow and our resupplies. But truthfully, we did enjoy it. It was just something to look forward to.
So right now we are actually about 5 miles away from our Red's Meadow resupply. And like usual, we are trying to get there a day early, but we didn't decide that till 20 minutes ago. And now we're cramming. And what makes things harder is we're hiking in sand, which is just fantastic. Also, my trekking pole broke yesterday. It got stuck and bent, and then I took it off and tried to repair it.
Not everything was instantly easier after our first few days, but it did get better, and we did find ways to eventually get to where we wanted to go. We always opted to keep moving forward, regardless of the situation.
We're at Red's Meadow, waiting for Burger, eating cookies. We did our resupply, and it's only candy.
We got rid of all of our bars and replaced all of them with candy.
Ready? Ooh, oh my god, the cantaloupe. We've been talking about cantaloupe.
For us, Reds would mark the beginning of the end. We knew that it was coming, and we tried to delay it as much as we could.
We made it to the boundary of Devil's Postpile National Monument and Inyo National Forest. We're back in the National Forest, stepping foot. Woo! Right now we're headed up right out of Red's Meadow. We're like 3 miles out, and we're heading to Minaret Creek for a short 8-mile day.
It's funny watching this video, all 20-30 minutes of it, and experiencing the change from the first clip to now. I think I still looked like I didn't know what I was doing, but at least I was confident about it.
Very full.
Food in here.
May have bought too much. Ate 3 candy bars tonight.
And still no room.
Still not enough.
Wow. It's heavy now.
Ironically, I think this trail made us feel a little bit more like children, getting back to our roots. We were children, to be fair, but it felt whimsical, like an adventure and a story. We created nonsense words and had jokes that only made sense to the two of us.
This is what we call
Spamadama bomb.
Spamadama bombadom. Name changes slightly every day.
every time we say
Potatoes and spinach. It is delicious.
That's all I could say. But yeah.
We were getting close to the end, and we knew that. So we spent every night watching the sunset from here on out.
It's day 17. My phone will probably die before we make it to Yosemite, about 2.6 miles from the top of Donahue Pass.
Donahue is the last major pass that we'd have to tackle, and of course, it felt incredibly easy. Donahue felt like a great milestone. We knew that the next few miles were going to be easy and headed straight down into the gorgeous Yosemite Valley. Of course, there had to be a challenge. So there was a thunder and lightning storm on our way down from Donahue, and we were running. And like clockwork, it cleared up and Lyell Canyon was a golden, pristine meadow. We finally saw our first bear and headed off to our last campsites.
We're gearing up to do a sunrise summit to the top of Cathedral. Tessa's packing up her bag. Well, tomorrow's the last day. Today is the last full day. Tomorrow we hike out, so we're gonna do a sunrise summit of our last pass. Where are we?
We're at the peak of Cathedral for sunrise. No more uphill.
Yeah?
Those last few miles were difficult. It's hard to see your adventure slowly pass you. Every conversation revolved around the people we had met and what we had said and how much we'd missed them when we were off the trail.
That would hurt if it fell on you. Our last breakfast.
All we have is Nutella and tortillas. Nothing else.
Literally nothing else. I'm having my final instant coffee. Tessa was done with instant coffee like 3 days ago, so she's converted to tea. Which honestly probably tastes really nice.
Walking into Yosemite felt like such an accomplishment. But it was all downhill. It was easy, and we knew that it meant we're almost done. Tonight we'd be sleeping in a bed for the first time in 15 days. And we finally could tell all of our friends and family that we did it. We had proven ourselves.
Final mile!
Mount Whitney, the edge on Muir. 211.
211! Woohoo!
And yes, it's cliche, but the experience really was the adventure. And 5 years later, I can confidently say that this is not something I remember for the things I carried, but rather the people I met and the places I got to see. And yes, this princess cake, because it tasted that good.